Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the TempleWXBlog's YouTube channel. This is our afternoon weather briefing for May 17th, 2025. Today I just wanted to take a quick moment to shout out our sponsor, Becca's Jams and Jellies, for making this all possible. She has, let me tell you firsthand, she has some of the best jellies and jams out there. I have personally tried them. They are honestly amazing. And I'm not a jelly person, so please go check them out. Check her out on Facebook at Becca's Jams. And you can also check her out at the Southern Homestead Market every Saturday from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Check them out to this or next Saturday, because this Saturday it actually got rained out. And we'll talk about that a little more in our forecast today. Alright, so here's a current look at our weather radar. You can see dry conditions across the entire county. You can see Temple. I do have a dot there. That's Temple right up there. And you can see no rain in current sight. But Ace, what do you have for us on the forecast for the rest of the day?
So the rest of the day seems pretty dry and seems perfect outdoor activities. Just don't mind, there could be a little bit of humidity, so if that really gets you, make sure to bring a bottle of water and stay hydrated. That's what I got to say.
So let's go ahead and dive into our forecast here. As you can see, we have our tropical weather outlook up for the next 7 days. You can see no activities currently expected. But Ace, what do you think might be coming here in the near future?
So the first day of hurricane season, I believe that by the time we get to June, there could be potentially our first tropical storm wave coming off Africa or in that general area where typically we get our first wave. It's Africa, that's typically where it happens, and I believe we'll get our first hurricane sometime in June, July, maybe, but I think it'll be a tropical storm because a hurricane is typically strong, you need at least 74-mile-per-hour winds, so I believe it'll be a tropical storm.
Yeah, and I went ahead and circled the area that these waves typically come from, and we'll watch as those waves over throughout the year move into the Caribbean and potentially up towards the Gulf, where we could see tropical impacts throughout the Gulf states. But one thing I also want to point out, we could see tropical activity here in the Caribbean. I'll circle the area here. This area right here is frequent for tropical activity, and that
Yeah.
area could also bring in the potential for coastal impacts. Florida, Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana area could see impacts if a tropical system were to come out of there. So make sure to keep your eyes peeled on the TempleWXBlog forecast. Alrighty, so here is today's Storm Prediction Center outlook, and you can see we here in Temple are not under any specific threat, but I do want to take a quick look at this threat in the Central Plains, as this could translate over into our area over the next few days. You can see there is a level 3 out of 5 enhanced risk for areas such as Dallas, Fort Worth, in those types of areas. I think it's a little to the south of Oklahoma City, but if you're around the Dallas area and you just so happen to be watching this video, please keep that in mind. You got a very dangerous day ahead. Let's take a little look at our tornado threat. You can see a 5% region has been delineated from Waco, Dallas, Oklahoma City, Norman, all the way up to Woodward, Oklahoma. Those areas, there's a non-zero tornado threat. I don't think we're going to see that many tornadoes today as we did the past few days as a tornado outbreak struck parts of the Tennessee Valley and the Great Lakes. But we still could easily see a few isolated tornadoes. Most likely won't see any strong tornadoes in my opinion, but we'll keep you updated here on TempleWXBlog. Diving into our wind threat, you can see a 30% region is delineated for that entire 3 out of 5 enhanced risk area, which includes Dallas and Fort Worth. You can see there is a hatched area, that's that little black area right there. That's where we could see potential for hurricane plus force wind gusts. And you can see there's not really that large of an area. I don't know how significant wind gusts are going to get, but we could still keep an eye on that area for the potential for future storms to produce very strong wind gusts. And I'll let Ace go ahead and explain this hail threat.
Okay, so the main threat for today seems to be the hail threat. We can get some storms up to softball-sized hail. Already a couple of storms out in central Texas, already firing up west of Dallas, around northwest of Austin. They're already firing up. Some storms already have ping pong ball-sized hail, so this hail threat seems to be very significant. There is a hatched risk. It seems to be Dallas and Fort that is the bullseye area. The hail threat is very significant. Please watch out if you're going anywhere today. Just don't mind if you see huge softball-sized hail potential. It is on the board and it could be there. So please be careful when you're driving or out anywhere outdoors.
Yeah, and I would also like to make the point that there is a hatched risk that still extends from
Mm-hmm.
Oklahoma City, Woodward, Oklahoma, Tulsa, Oklahoma, all the way down. All the way down, you can actually see to the Mexico-Texas border there. We might see some storms come out of Mexico into Texas with large hail potential similar to that in Dallas. But I think Dallas and the Fort Worth metropolitan area are going to be the biggest bullseyes for the day. Okay, y'all, so we're diving into our severe weather risk for tomorrow. You can see actually we are under a level 1 out of 5 marginal risk of severe weather. And what we are going to be watching is the remnants of Dallas's storms from today. We're going to be seeing how those storms could potentially be able to move over here. We're going to have to wait and see how much strength they retain. There is the potential that they retain some strength. You can see we'll be at the threat for some localized strong wind gusts, potentially to severe category, which is considered damaging, 60-mile-per-hour winds or higher. And we'll be at the threat for some small to potentially isolated cases of larger hail up to quarter size, which is also the definition of a severe thunderstorm. So that's just kind of what we're going to be watching tomorrow. I don't see any tornado threat, fortunately, but we definitely could be seeing a bit more of that here as over the beginning of next week. We definitely could be seeing more of that as those storms that have been sitting over the Central Plains move into our area, and you can actually see there's a level 3 out of 5 enhanced risk of severe weather delineated for parts of Kansas, and then up a little to the northwest of that for parts of Nebraska, and that's going to be Denver, Colorado as well. So keep that in mind. Excuse me, that's just Colorado. That is not Denver, Colorado. Just Colorado is going to be in that enhanced risk, so keep your eyes peeled on the Temple WX forecast for tomorrow.
Okay, this is the day 3 outlook from the Storm Prediction Center, and there's currently a moderate risk just north. So we are in the clear pretty much for any major severe weather for day 3. But as you can see, we still are in a thunderstorm risk, but there is a chance that the marginal risk could slide down into our area because we are super close. There's a chance this could change. This is 3 days out, so just come back and check in a couple of days and see if it did change. But as you can see, out west towards the Kansas City, Oklahoma City metropolitan area, there is an enhanced risk. There is a chance for a really big outbreak of severe weather. All modes of severe weather are possible out here. There is a potential for a moderate risk in that area. Family members traveling that way or heading anywhere towards that area or even driving through that area 3 days from now or 4 days from now, somewhere in that time frame, please make sure you have ways to get warnings because there could be some pretty bad storms in that area. That's all I got to say.
As clarification, this is for Monday that the severe weather threat is going to be going through. Alrighty, let's take a quick little dive into our sort of radar for the next 48 hours, but reminder, this is not exactly what the radar is going to look like. This just kind of gives us an idea of what could be happening. So you can see here's 2 p.m. today. You can see that rain down in south central moving into South Georgia. That's going to start to weaken and die off by the time we hit this evening. Much of tonight should be dry. However, we start to get in the morning hours, and that's when just what we were talking about, that nasty little section of thunderstorms moves through, and then we could see scattered showers behind it. So we could see showers through majority of the daylight hours of Sunday morning, moving into early afternoon Monday or Sunday, early afternoon of Sunday, until this rain and storms finally clear out. And you can definitely see heavy rainfalls possible in some of those storms. I wouldn't be surprised if some gusty winds, small hail are also possible. Tornado threat doesn't look exactly that high, but we still got to be prepared for anything.
So as you can see, Sunday night it seems to be pretty dry, as you can see, but as we're going to move further into Sunday night into Monday morning, there's going to be this little cluster of showers and thunderstorms around 9 a.m. mid-Monday morning. A cluster of showers and storms, as you can see here. They're going to swing by pretty fast, though. As you can see, they're swinging out pretty quickly. They're not going to be here for too long, and it's going to be primarily dry, maybe a spot shower behind that. Most of your Monday seems to be pretty dry and clear, besides the Monday morning commute, like mid-morning commute, if you have to take plans out between 9 and 11 a.m., you're going to be disrupted by a couple of showers and thunderstorms. So just be advised, if you see any rain, that's what's going to happen.
Alright, so let's take this out a little further. This is around the same time on Monday. You can see this model doesn't have as much rain, but still, generally speaking, there it is. It pops up a little later. You'll see it moves out. So I think most of Monday's actually going to be pretty dry, y'all. But we might see some showers and thunderstorms in the morning specifically. But by afternoon, maybe late afternoon, I think we'll be clearing up and it'll be a nicer day. Now, here's where things start to get interesting. We do have a day 4, which would be Tuesday, level 2 out of 5 threat. This is not uncommon to see at this range, especially in this time of year. May, definitely not uncommon to see severe weather threats a little further out. There's just some increased confidence that we might have severe weather. And you can see Tuesday afternoon, evening, we're mostly dry for the entire daylight hours. Maybe early in the morning Tuesday could see some spotty showers. But you can see by the evening Tuesday and into the overnight hours, big storm system comes through, cold front. That could be, it's a little difficult to diagnose the exact threat, but I wouldn't be surprised if this is another line of thunderstorms capable of producing damaging winds as the main threat. Potential for spin-up tornadoes is also there. I don't see as much of a hail threat with this. And we can actually take a look at our energy in the atmosphere to see how well these thunderstorms might be at this point. And you can see the stronger numbers and the higher numbers are out to our west. And you can see by the time this gets here, this is the same time that they're moving in. We only have around 150 joules per kilogram of CAPE, which is our energy. So not a lot for those storms to feed off of. So I wouldn't be surprised if conditions stay like they are currently, that they are entering a weakening trend as they move through here. Outside of that, though, I think much of the week is going to be, relatively speaking, dry. You can see Wednesday, getting into Wednesday here, dry. Maybe some spotty showers in the late evening. Thursday, also, relatively speaking, dry. Friday, I mean, that looks like an amazing day, Friday. And then as we get further and further out, less and less confidence in the forecast. But you can generally see our next big solar system might not come until next weekend. So keep your eyes posted on TempleWXBlog for the latest forecast.
Thank y'all so much for being here and making it to the end of our YouTube video. If you really did appreciate it, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. I really do appreciate it if you do. Thank y'all so much and have a great rest of your Saturday evening.
Also, don't forget to check Becca's Gems and Jellies out. She goes to the Southern Homestead Market every Saturday, unless it's raining, from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. She really makes this video possible, or these videos, so please consider checking her out. Make sure, if you did enjoy the video, also to like it. It would really help us out, and it just shows us that we're doing something right. So, as Ace said, thank everybody for watching this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.